Hey, what's up? Going to do, I guess, part two or part B of remodding my Casio G-Shock, um, GW-B5600. I think that's what it is. GW-B5600AR-1. That's the adrenaline red dial. And saw from my previous video, I had modded with the from G-Refit. This is what they call mechanical robot style or something like that, but obviously it's basically like the virtual armor from G-Shock, which costs like, I don't know, 2,000 or north of that now. Yeah, just wanted to give it that look. Really always liked it. Very technical looking with everything all you know, labeled and spelled out. And yeah, just very cool. And I think the red accents obviously match that. And when I got the kit, I didn't know it didn't come with the new buttons to match the case, right? And this should be black, as well as this one should have a red accent on it for the light. And so I ended up ordering it, and you know, it came pretty fast actually. Like, came like this kit, I think within a week, definitely under 2, which is pretty darn fast. You usually wouldn't expect it that fast, and probably even longer, like maybe months sometimes. And what it comes with, this is like the crystal, I think, and it comes together with this, with the push. I think you can get them separate, but I just bought it as a set. I wasn't sure if I was going to change the crystal. Let's take it out of the case, the plastic. I don't think I will, because I like the red accent around it, but this is supposed to look like the one that comes with the virtual armor. So when you put it on, it looks kind of hard to read, but it'll give it that more complete look. Of course, my crystal, the screen rather, is red, so that's going to always be different. Come on. There you go. I'm curious if this is actually made out of sapphire, because isn't this supposed to have sapphire glass instead as well? It feels pretty cold, so I'm pretty sure it's not plastic. That'd be pretty cool if it is. So yeah, let's see what you get on here. Let's just kind of pretend and see what this might look like with it on. So it wouldn't look bad. Actually, you still have the red screen. It's just that you lose the red accent around here, which I kind of like. Just that extra, you know, something around the frame. And they move some of the wording around. Like, this doesn't even say 20 bar water resist on it. You can see. The only also thing though with this original crystal, which is probably some sort of plastic, right? I'm pretty sure it is that you can see something I wasn't really paying attention to before, but some of the labeling is doubled up, such as right here on here, mode and mode, and light and light. But these are different here. This one says receiving, and it also start and stop here, so this can kind of give you some extra information as to what this button can do. This is basically always going to be mode, and this is always basically going to be a light. And this one you can do split for the chronograph and resetting it. And this is also to adjust your settings throughout the different modes of the watch. So this one I'll just put it on top of here. It's simplified. They took out those extra parts that, like the light and that part. So I kind of like that. Scratch up here. It shouldn't be. I imagine this is actually a sapphire. I haven't actually looked at the site. I wasn't even paying attention because I wasn't really planning to use this, but that might be worth changing up. Ah, gosh. I mean, my only issue with that is that I really do like the... What do you think? I mean, it still passes pretty well like that. But this also looks pretty good too. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I'll go with it, and then if I really feel like I could use it, maybe I'll update it with this crystal. I mean, I really hate to... I think the main thing that I'm keeping it for is that red frame around the screen. But if we ace that and we lose it, what do you think? Does that look better? It's kind of hard to see right now. It's bright in here. What to do? Because the benefits are I lose the extra text that's kind of unnecessary. It doesn't really bother me, but it's kind of like oddly redundant on both sides. We do still say, it still says Bluetooth, but it does, right? And alarm, chrono. I just noticed the text on the bottom. What does it say here? Shock resistant structure. Come on, focus. It's too bright. There you go. Shock resistant structure protects the case and bezel from induced shocks. Okay. It's multiband 6, Bluetooth, Casio, tough solar. I mean, admittedly, these the text in here around the outside at least is kind of grayed, so it's kind of much more subtle. It's just to get the charge because we have like these. This is where the cells are, right through here, so the light should still pass through that, no problem. Whereas this one's all open, so sorry about the glare. Let's see as I do this. But the main thing I was going for. Let's put this back. I wonder how does this go on? It just attaches to the inside, the module. That's it. Just, I don't know. I mean, I guess I can go for the full mod and I can't. This has got to be actual like sapphire or at least glass. Maybe it's mineral crystal. I don't know. Is it worth changing it? Kind of scared to do it now. The crystal. Well, we'll see how hard it is. So we're gonna. Here's the buttons real quick. So here's the one for the light. And the other ones are for just the other pushers. They should be all just black. Yeah, so I thought these also were supposed to include the springs with them. At least I thought they were pictured with them. But I guess I can reuse the ones that are in here already anyways. And they should match the same size. Looks like it. It'd suck if it didn't. So there are some videos on how people have changed these, not necessarily for this kind, but maybe if you wanted to switch this to like gold or some other color, maybe just all black, like sort of like that, you can do that. So first thing we're going to do, if this video gets long, is I'm gonna pop this off. Real easy, quick release. Come on, I said easy, right? Whoops, so I gotta be careful. I don't want to lose the spring bar because it's not held in with a lot of friction at all. So you could, like this side, it came out. It's not a big deal, but you know, it's just something to be aware of so you don't accidentally, you know, lose it. So get that out of the way so I can get to the case back. So we gotta unscrew that. So I want to use the included tools that they gave because they should be the right thickness to get in here without messing it up. So we're just gonna, well, I'm curious, do I actually need to take out everything? I wonder if I just unscrew the back, shouldn't that just give me enough access to get to the buttons anyways? Because I kind of don't want to have to mess with this any more than I have to. These can show a little bit of wear. No big deal. It'd be kind of cool to give it some more wear anyways, I think. But let's see. Maybe I'll just do that. Is this too thick? All right. I am going to try to get to the buttons without having to take off the whole, remove it from the resin case. Up here. I think that should work, right? This is the only thing that's gonna give me access to the inside anyways. So this should be, I'm gonna put these in position as I got them out. So 1, 2, 3, 4 with this reading right side up. I don't know, I like to keep things, put things back where I found them. It just makes sense, right? Okay, take this out. Oh yeah, also I don't want to wear out the paint on the screws any more than I need to. As well as that's just an extra step that I don't need to mess with. Just add time to this video. So, oh, okay, so that just pops open, and let's take a look. Ah, geez. Well, there's a gasket. I don't want to lose this guy for sure. He's set inside something that seems kind of oddly floaty. I might have to review the video to make sure. Shoot, did this thing die? No. I was curious what these tabs do. These guys right here, they just kind of stick up for some reason. I wonder, maybe there's like a, is there like a antenna somehow attached to this? That's what that's for? I don't know. Anyways, this looks a little bit different than I remember looking at it, so I need to get access to these pushers here. But how do I do that? Do I just pull this thing out? You know, I should really pause this and see if what the person did to get into this. Because I imagine you just pull this out, and then the modules should still work. It's all self-contained, I believe. And then all I got to do is basically, get to these things. There should be like an E or C clip holding onto the ends. Okay, I'm gonna have to splice this video together and pause it and just double check to see how the guy did it and make sure I'm doing the same thing before I start trying to hopefully not forcibly pull something out. Alright, so I'll be right back. Okay, so apparently this should just gently tap out. So that's what I'm going to try to do. Gently tap this out, he said. Oh crap. Well, that didn't happen with his. Let's see. I think it's coming out. There's a G-Shock, it can handle this. I get nervous. Why did his come out so easily? And he did not, doesn't look like he removed it from. Ah, crap. Gotta watch out. There's like this foam thing here. Was that even sticking out before? Oh, man. Okay, mental note. There's a piece of foam here. I want to make sure I don't somehow lose that. I wonder if that's keeping it in. Let's see. Great. And actually, just a note, there's one, so there's a set right there. And you can see one right about in here. And I don't see any other ones. Wonder. Okay, now I've got to be a little bit more, I don't say aggressive, but I'm getting frustrated with just it not moving. So, this is, like I said, a dentist tools that I use for modeling, model making and stuff sometimes. I don't know, I gotta review the video. Hopefully, I wonder if this was already kind of sticking out like this. I hope not. Okay, drop out. trying to fix something. No.
Anyway, đi tỏi đi nhập về bể để.
Okay. Okay.
Cái nhà ngồi có đi lò máy cây rồi mà có đi siêu máy.
Okay.
Có một laundry.
I know, I'll take care of it. Come on, just drop out. Darn it. Wait, there we go. Just try to put that thing back together as best I can. Yeah, I don't think I want to mess with, because look, the solar cells are right here, I think, right? And that's all part of the crystal. And so if I take it out, I don't know, there's probably a way to get under there and do that. I probably have to, oh God, I don't know, like pry this, there's like this metal clip or something around here. Maybe that's holding it down. I don't know. I don't think it's worth it. Don't you think? So this is where we want to get to, right in here, these buttons. Right here. You see how there's a small clip around the outside? Or rather at the ends, a little C-clip. So that's the thing I got to carefully pry out. And then you got to be careful, because once you do that, there's a spring in here right in between, so I got to be careful that that doesn't you know, fly somewhere that I don't want it to. So here it goes. The guy used like a bent piece of metal to help pry this out, so I'll see what I can do. Sorry if I can't get up closer, but I'm gonna try one side. There's got to be an easier way to do this without messing it up. I'm trying to remember how I used to remove clips like this. I guess maybe if I lift it up like that, if you can see, I pushed on the button to get it up. Maybe if I can grab it with a set of pliers, small, tiny set, I can. Gosh, you do not want this to fly on the wooden floor, because it's going to be a bitch finding. Let's see. I modded my Seiko Giugiaro, and I was thinking about switching the buttons between the two units that I had that I was swapping pieces with. But I also wanted to do the buttons too. But then I think they had something like this, and I said, you know what, I don't want to mess with that. I don't think this is going to give me enough purchase or grip to actually pull it out. If it does, I'd be kind of amazed. It's that easy. Or maybe the thing you got to do is push at it from the back side or the open side, so then it comes off that way. I'm trying to think, how else can I do this? All right, I'm going to pause this while I figure it out, and then maybe I'll show you the steps or what I try to do to get it off. Okay, this was hard as heck. Well, there's no real good technique to pushing that C clip out other than just to try to, I think you should just, where it's kind of like this, right? So, and it's wrapped around the, the shaft or whatever. um, the button, you know, what do you call this thing? The pin collar. So it was wrapped at the end of the tip, and so you just, like this, you just try to get something to push it from this side so that it pushes out just enough. Then if you start, you can kind of feel it. You start working one side or the other, then it'll come out easier. So you kind of have to get something wide enough to hit both of them. Just get in there and push it out. I'll see if I can show it to you later, but this is a component here, the original button. There's a spring, and if you look closely, if I can get this to focus, there's actually like a little tiny washer right at the end of that spring, between that and those two gaskets. So yeah, these gaskets, you gotta be careful. They're easy to kind of launch out. Anyways, I'm gonna show you me putting it back on here. Well, I'm not gonna show you me putting it on because it was darn hard, because these things kept flying everywhere and it's just really hard to grip, even with the small needle nose pliers. So I'm just gonna show it to you on that part after I get it on. Well, maybe I'll try. I just got the spring onto this part, and I'm gonna try to get this tiny ass washer on. Okay, just put that on, and then the trick is getting this stack here to get onto, because this thing took me a while. It kept launching out all over the place. There's one. Just use my finger to push it down. Something like that. And this actually is my light button, so I wasn't really paying attention to which one I was. Insert it all together into that hole. See over here, if you can. And so the tricky part is getting this little guy up in there. You can see that. And then you gotta, there's like a little cutout obviously at the end of that, this piece right here, that you gotta fit the C clip into, and you kind of get it. You know, you kind of see and feel for it. You know, push the button a little bit just to see if it's actually going into the right spot. If it catches, it'll keep that head, you can see, from going down as it is right now. So that being the case, I got it in there. The trick is pushing it in and making sure when I do that, it doesn't somehow just launch itself out into nowhere. Because maybe I just might not want to go in and slip out. Remove any lint that's stuck to it. You don't want that to be in there. Oh, that's it. I think I got it. Make sure. Fall out. Should test this one again too. Just make sure. Usually it holds in pretty good. Sorry about the. There you go. So. And I think these buttons are just a little bit longer than the stock ones. I'd have to put them up together to see, but that's what it seemed like, but I could be wrong. Okay. Yeah, let me see if I can get this brighter for you. So the trick is to get something that's wide enough to push against this and both sides of this, and then and slip into that crack slightly if you can. That way it can actually push itself free off of there later. So I want to try to show you this. I think I was using something like this. This is pretty thin if I angle it right, and I just should hold the case and just kind of push it in against that. Let's see, finger on that button. Okay, and then if you can just slip it out from there. Okay, I think I got it out. Oh, where the heck did it go? Oh, great. No, it's in here. All right, let's drop it out. And then, I don't know, you just kind of have to play with this and see. And so, again, be careful when you remove this, the button out. Push it from the back side a little bit. And then just pull it out. And just make sure you get all the gaskets too. Hopefully they don't get stuck inside. If you don't have two of them, one of them, or one, or none of them, they might be still somehow stuck inside that hole in there. And this kind of fish them out. So I remove these and put it back in reverse order onto the new one. So that's what basically I'm going to do. I'm not going to show that since I kind of showed it to you. And then I'll come back when I put them all in. Just let me show you. See, this is the original, the silver one, obviously. And then you can see the new ones. It's definitely thicker and so taller. So they should be actually easier to push too because of that, right? Because they're going to protrude out just a little bit more than the original one, because it's thicker, and so that's actually taller, and it'll be easier to push. The less recessed into the case, which is actually better, right? I think. And I guess you can kind of look and compare it right now real quickly, see how these are versus, well, it's kind of hard to see if I back it up. You can kind of see, I mean, the angle kind of hides the button slightly, but even so, if it's, you know, if the angle that I'm showing to you at, which I think technically this is more centered, isn't it? Well, anyways, you can see this is just inside, and these ever so slightly protrude a bit more. They're just a little bit more noticeable than what's shown here. Even if I move this over, you can see it's kind of in more versus this. These definitely have a little more presence. So anyways, just wanted to show that. Okay, I also want to show you that these things come with a little, it's not the defect, there's that, sometimes you notice on some of your watches that you get new, they might have this blue thing at the crown. Usually it's at a crown, right? And this doesn't really have a crown, that's buttons. And that's the same thing. It's just like a little clear piece of blue plastic. And be careful to remove it. And the other one came off a little bit easier. This one's kind of, sometimes they stubborn and they kind of break up. And actually one of the quickest ways is to use like a piece of tape to just kind of stick onto it, and then stick onto it and then just lift it off. Okay, 3 down, 1 more to go. All right, I got all of them in. Phew. I'm definitely not going to fuck with that crystal because, again, there's that solar panel, and I'm not sure how that's going to separate from that piece of acrylic or whatever it's on that's under. Maybe it is separate. I don't know. It looks pretty darn close to me. Not worth messing around with, you ask me, because you need that solar cell. If you damage that, you know, ass out. Yeah. So what we're going to do now is notice that that rubber gasket thing over here never came out with the movement. So I'm just assuming it's just going to go back in there with that. We're going to blow out the inside. Make sure there's no dust underneath the crystal, because that would be so annoying to find out afterwards. And of course, blow it off of the unit itself. And what we're going to do is grab this and make sure I have it right side up. And drop it in. There are little like notches and little things inside to guide you in, I believe. Okay, I'm gonna have to try this again because I think that rubber gasket on this side is keeping it from sliding in, the one that's down in this corner. And there is one still stuck to that, so I'm thinking I want to get those sides in, down in a little bit more first if I can. I can't just drop it straight in. Jeez. Sorry, I'm off camera. I'm trying to concentrate here. Because I don't want that piece over here to get caught underneath and keep it from pushing down, you know? Okay. I think I got it. All right, let that slip through. All right. Let's blow out the back. So I'm not blowing in anything. Supposedly this thing has a filter, so I shouldn't be blowing any dust through it into the here. Make sure. Yeah, it's trying to receive right now too, I think. Anyways, I'm pretty sure I didn't touch the inside of the crystal, so hopefully that's not going to be an issue. And then pull out the back. So I believe this is the back piece. Yeah, and it should go in. Oh, let's blow this out. It caught some little bit of dust particles here. There's one piece of lint that just keeps coming back. Okay. Just match it up with these pins here, right? Should be like that. Right, because these little springs or whatever that's popping up, and then these should fit into those. So there's that, and then I think that's it. I just have to get this case back down. Holy crap, how did I do this? I trust that, yeah, see how it's got this kind of semicircle kind of cut out? It's got to be for that guy right there. So, and it should be upright this way too. When you flip it, directly flip it around, it should read upright. It shouldn't be up, you don't flip it, vertically, you flip it horizontally like this to look at it. So, that's good. I'm gonna give this one more. so I don't work in a dust-free lab. Best it's gonna get, I guess. Hopefully I never have to open this up again. Ever! So, just push it down straight, I guess. Hopefully this thing should reach right through. Those pins should go right through there. So I'm gonna try to feel it out. If I can. Hopefully it is doing what it's supposed to be doing. And I'm gonna have to lift this up so I can see it from my angle. Okay, that should do it. Now, okay, that's up the order. I'm gonna put these back the way I found them. I usually back screw it just to feel, make sure they drop into the threads. I don't want to cross thread anything, and much like I did mounting the case on, I'll just kind of go across. You know, it's like putting on a rim, as I mentioned. I probably shouldn't have went to the top, huh? Ooh. Hopefully I didn't screw up the order of the screws. I made it a point to keep it, but I guess they all should be identical. But if anything, hopefully I did not compromise the water resistance, either by the case back or especially through the buttons. I got the gaskets on there, but you know, in the video that I referenced for the guy doing this, he did kind of mention adding some lube back on those gaskets that were those two black ones that are, you know, around these buttons, which I didn't do. I was too lazy to go. My watch grease is like buried underneath all these boxes right now, and I just did not want to go into there. I figure, well, I didn't touch it up that much and wipe anything off, so hopefully the water resistance is good still. Well, we'll test it out, and when I need to wash this out next time, and hopefully I'm not going to have any issues. And okay, making sure nothing slipped underneath the crystal. There shouldn't be anything like around outside of the red part, because that's all covered. You know, the only part that would show is the is through this part of it. And looking at different angles, there's nothing, so that's good. And make sure the buttons work. Right, and let's turn off the lights, and so you can see. My thing is not focusing. Let's try that again. It's probably too dim. Come on, autofocus. Yeah, I gotta bump up my ISO as well. Let's try it one more time. There we go. So that button works. Oops, sorry to blind you. Turn my ISO back down. Start. And then this should be reset. Yep. There we go. I think that should do it. Much better. Well, I mean, it wasn't terrible with the silver buttons, but now I got the complete look. And I have to do the simple task of putting back on the bracelet, which luckily pretty easy. You see, it goes this way. Well, we're going to leave that one out because it's probably going to fall out if I try to put it in. So this is the bottom, so it should go underneath here. Side. So again, I'm glad that I think from my last kit they made these sorry, I'm off camera. They made the spring bar longer, this handle thing, so that it actually comes out enough for you to use your fingers to get to. Because you couldn't really do that with the previous one I had. You'd have to use a tool to just kind of get in there. Okay, I snapped in. And this is the right side right there. It opens up this way. Then let's put this back. The other side down into it first, and then try to pull the rest of it in. It snaps in. At least it should. Just make sure. Tug, tug, tug. Wiggle, wiggle. There we go. Cool. I'm glad I was able to get these in and just complete the look. Well, putting this in would be the complete look, but yeah, you saw how it was on the other side. I just was not confident about taking that screen out and whether, at least in this particular model, maybe the that solar panel was somehow actually part of this crystal. You know, the way this is, maybe you can't actually separate this particular one, which is fine. I think, again, I still like that red accent around the frame. Once I do a review or something, or maybe I'll post some things to show you, like, again, this is primarily, you know, I think of that sci-fi series, The Expanse, the Martian Army, military forces, MCRN or something like that. They have a lot of their ships, their gear has a lot of black rays and red accents, and just looks like it could fit right in with it. They got really cool stuff, and the whole show is pretty cool. Diamond light carbon coating. Well, I did scratch it actually not too long ago. I was just like something. Oh, actually, it was a class, and I just was just reaching my hand in the mailbox, one of these apartment gang boxes, right? Like old style that you just kind of flip down, and these like coffin style, and I just barely brushed against the top edge of that box right here. And I was like, oh crap! And I saw a mark, and it wasn't coming off at first. You can kind of actually still make it out right about there, but pretty much this is substantially less than what it was. And again, I don't think it's probably real DLC, or at least not any scratch resistant coating, but then again my other one held up pretty well after some abuse, and actually much better than expected. So I kind of hope and expect the same from this. Anyways, this has been long enough. I will let you go, and thanks for watching. I don't know if this is really interesting or not, but at least you plan to do something like this. Hopefully this, maybe some other videos out there, give you like a good frame of reference and knowledge base enough to attempt to do so, or maybe say screw it, I don't think I want to mess with that. So thanks, and I'll catch you in the next.